Hey everybody, Jim Masters here in the New York area of the United States, and my special guest right now on the Jim Masters Show series is coming to us from Northern Ireland, right in the Belfast area. It is Irish music artist. He's a fantastic artist, chart-topping, acclaimed in the world of country music. The one and only Ritchie Remo is joining us here on the Jim Masters Show. Hey Richie, welcome to the Jim Masters Show. It's a
Hello,
pleasure to have
Tim.
you here.
It's great being on. Thank you for having me. Brilliant.
The pleasure is all mine. It's brilliant to have you here as well. What's the weather like right now in Northern Ireland?
It's dry but cold. That's the only way I can put it to you. Dry but cold. And it's windy, a wee bit windy as well. So
Have you finished all your Christmas shopping yet, or is it still in
yeah,
progress?
it's kind of CDs. Sometimes it's good,
Yes,
you know.
yes. Let's see
But
that.
the family wouldn't be happy with CDs. So I mean, the CDs is great and everything else, but sometimes you have to go a wee bit out beyond that. So no, it's Christmas presents is something that I kind of leave the last minute, if I be honest with you. It's kind of the last couple of days before Christmas Eve, and then there's nothing left in the shops. So, unfortunately, sometimes the things you're looking for you don't get.
Right.
No,
Exactly. Uh, so what does Richie want for Christmas? Other than, of course, lots of downloads for his music and lots of terrific opportunities to travel the world and put on concerts and tours and all kinds of great things, which we know
yeah.
is in progress. Which congratulations on that. But what would be something you would love under your
It's
tree
It's
this
funny you
Christmas?
saying that because I was speaking to someone last week about this is how I says I'm just actually coming out of the dentist. I got a filling, and he says all I want for Christmas is my two front teeth. So it's not that, but I can tell you the big thing about music, I think it is, and this is something that I love about it. Every year, I mean, every year that you're playing and performing and stuff, you go different phases. You songwrite for some of the year, you've been performing loads, you've been tours, and it's always be thankfully I just don't do the one thing all the time. So
Right.
there's different phases and stages where it could be in tour for 4 or 5 weeks. Then you come back and you're in a different phase again, maybe songwriting and recording and stuff. So I mean it's exciting whenever it's like that because you're not just stuck with the same routine all the time. So we're looking forward to coming to America. We're looking forward to coming to New York, Boston, I think LA, Chicago, all the way. We were in Washington last year for a couple of gigs. So we're looking to explore. I'm looking forward to exploring a new audience and new cities.
That is cool. And those big Irish contingents in those cities that you just mentioned, New York and
Yeah.
Boston and Chicago and elsewhere, that's fantastic. So if somebody comes to see Ritchie Remo and that's a great name, in concert, what can they expect? What's different about what you do versus so many other fantastic Irish artists, many we've had here on the Jim Masters Show, who do what they do? What is it about what you do that maybe stands out, Ritchie?
I think this is going to be a difficult part to actually do now for you because I mean my show's very very energetic. I play violin, I play guitar, I sing and I dance, and there's so much in the show that you'll see. There's so many different angles from the way I perform, and I think that's what makes me that wee bit different than everybody else because I'm a very showman type person out the front, and that brings and engages with everybody in the show. And sometimes it's very difficult whenever I would try to explain that to you here, sitting here. But whenever you come to the show, you'll see that whole side of it, and you'll say it was amazing to see me perform the show because it's all about me performing at the front of the show and having everybody engaged in it. And that's the energy that I have is incredible as well. So it's all these things together, and the songs, of course, as well is a big thing. So whenever you put all these things together, it creates like a big atmosphere type thing, and I lead from the front. So uh, that's the important thing. And then obviously, if whatever the band's there as well, like the band base interacting with me, and you bring the best out of your whole team with you. So
How
I
did
think
you
if that
get
answers the question for you.
It does. It's really amazing because a lot of the artists that we've talked to, and many I've interviewed on television and on radio here in America professionally, and then here on the Jim Masters Show. And I ask them, in interviews on television here in the States and on the radio, and also following up here on the Jim Masters Show with their conversations on our series, how did you get started? And a lot of them will say, especially when it comes to Irish artists, that when you grew up in Ireland, a lot of times you are handed a fiddle or a guitar or a flute or some instrument, or you learn to sing in a choral group or in church or what have you first. So music is a big part of the culture, and music is a big part of the lifestyle. But early on as a kid, you're handed some sort of an instrument or something, and then you run with it. What was first
Well,
for
that's
you? A fiddle, a violin, a guitar?
Yeah, that's the strange thing about it because I'll be honest with you, my family actually weren't into music at all. And if you're lucky enough to have a family that is and into music and stuff, as you say, you would get handed a guitar, violin, accordion from young. But it was on my 12th birthday. I kind of grew up with a father listening to music, so I was always around music. And for my 12th birthday, I actually got a guitar and a sister, my father. It was a next door neighbor had it. And I brought it home and I says, look, I want this guitar for my birthday. So I agreed, bought me the guitar and got my guitar lessons. And that was kind of the beginning of it. And he said to me that I was too young to actually go and perform at gigs and to get into places and thrive. So he bought himself a guitar as well. And that was whenever we started to go together and started learning instruments and put a show together. So that was the start of it.
That is cool. So, you sort of, when you were growing up, were there artists that inspired you, people that you saw in Ireland, throughout Great Britain, maybe America, Canada, that you gravitated to because you have this wonderful focus as one of the leading Irish country music artists, in the region there. So,
Yeah.
what was it about
I think
country
the big
music that spurred you on, that interested you, inspired you?
If I be honest with you, my father was a massive Elvis fan, so I was always hearing Elvis songs, and he would have sang Elvis and sort of and like uh, he would have done a bit of the all shook up and knowing all this sort of stuff. So I think that was the beginning of the music and Elvis, and then of course Top of the Pops in them days was a big thing. And he would have been recording it and listening to it. So he was always interested in music, so he was, but he never actually played or performed music. So that's whenever I came along, and I suppose I decided this is something that I want to do myself. So I mind whatever I got the guitar, I also got a learner book that was like a cream colored, the back in the days they weren't white. So that was the introduction to learning chords and starting to play.
So when you take a look at it, Richie, what was one of those first big opportunities for you that opened the doors, that got people to recognize your talent and how good you are and wanting you to
Well,
perform and record? What was there a moment where somebody gave you an
yeah, there was
opportunity or something
I
happened?
think I think for the first good few years, I mean, I was in a band with my father, and we done loads of, I mean, we done massive weddings. We done a lot of weddings, and we done a lot of kind of like fundraisers, corporate events, being him together. We've done a lot of that. But it wasn't really at that time. I wasn't really an artist. I was more in the band and more performing as a band. So I started to learn the violin then, and that was the start of sort of me becoming the Ritchie Remo entertainer. And the big moment was probably back whenever I look at it was probably Country Fest was probably the very first show they done, and people started to recognize. I mean, I was performing. There was loads of big acts, but I was in the smaller stage, but I mean, everybody just to the room just filled because of the different dynamics. Whenever you have somebody in a fiddle, and I'd be up on top of tables, and I'd be perform with real energy, and people kind of always want something different. And I think that's the one thing about me is, um, I'll always come across that bit different than anybody else, and it's not just playing, it's interaction, it's dancing, it's the songs, the different type of tempos. And I think overall what I've done is I've put time into trying to widen all that. So from doing a ballad to doing something really fast to playing the fiddle, guitar, writing my own songs, and that's been something I've built over the over time now to make sure that the show is something. It's all different styles in it as well, which is important. So people just doesn't get sick of you doing the one type of thing.
What kind of music do you like? Like if we flew to Ireland and we came to your house and we went into your boombox or your stereo or your iPod, whatever it may be, what does Richie Remo listen to? What do you
Well,
like?
the first things first is you would not be playing any of my songs because I always say this to people. People, if you go to like if you're at a party or go somewhere, people put your own songs on, and it's not something that I would ever be listening to because I mean I'm surrounded listening to myself every night, and performing and whatever you're recording songs as well. I mean, the process from that song, from you start with it to you get it, to you're actually, you're even putting it out as a single or doing a video for it. I mean, the amount of times that you've been through that song in your head, performing and stuff, it's something that, the process of it. So there's certain songs and styles that I'll really like, and I would say I'd be more into a laid back folk style music rather than something really up tempo. That depends on the form too, but I'd be more into that type of style now. I've came to that adjust to that type of a more calm atmosphere whenever I'm listening to music.
So, what do you think it is about country music and folk music that is so popular in Ireland? We've had a lot of different artists on who do country and or folk, and they say there's this real love affair between, especially America and
Yeah,
Ireland, when it comes to country and folk music. Why do you think it appeals so much to everybody in Ireland and Scotland and just that whole area?
I do think, whenever you start to sing the song and kind of there's songs that you'll listen to and they'll just go past you that you'll do, and there's sometimes in your set you'll do songs and then there's other songs to sing more like a ballady folk type song, and you'll actually live the song more, and you'll be in the song more so than just singing it, and that makes a different connection with it, and that's kind of how you connect with the style of the music as well and stuff. But there's as artists will do as well. There's certain songs in the set that you have to sing, and you sing them all the time. They're the type of songs that you perform as a set, but there's certain songs you'll connect with. So I think that's the big thing, the style, what it means to the song as well. So I think that's important.
So what came first for you? Was it the violin, the guitar?
The guitar first. I mean,
Guitar was first, huh?
the guitar was for. I mean, I played my first gig at 14. I got the guitar whenever I was 12, and as I say, I spent maybe a year on the learner book, and then I got lessons then for a year, and then after that it was just practicing all the time. The violin came later, and that was the that was the change then, because it was kind of, the guitar is something everybody kind of plays music in that, but the violin's a different type of instrument. And I mean, it took hours and hours every day, maybe 2 3 hours practice every day to get to the stage of performing with it.
I know because I took it in school in middle school, which was they used to call it junior high school, and it was somewhere around like seventh, eighth grade, and took it with a friend who took it as well, the violin. And it's really an interesting instrument, and not necessarily one that you can just master overnight.
Yeah.
Even with a name like Masters, you still can't
Yeah.
master it overnight.
Believe
It's
it or not, my
yeah,
mother used to say to me, Richard, that sounds like a squealing cat. So,
yeah,
yeah,
exactly. You're right.
it is. And I mean, for anybody around you that, if you're learning a violin,
They're
I mean,
like,
at least if you're learning the guitar and you do that, or you do, no, it could be when you're learning like that, it's not as annoying as a fellow going,
yeah,
and
they
over and over again.
grit their teeth. Exactly
Yeah.
right.
But even as a whatever you're learning an instrument as well, at least with the guitar, you learn the chord and you keep playing the chord till you get the chord. But with the violin, even just one note, and I mean, it's just how horrible it can sound. It's just awful whenever it's played bad.
So, how old were you when you actually feel you mastered the violin, when you actually got it where it needed to be, and as far as the sound, after years of trying, and doing it?
You make mistakes, you feel so comfortable and so relaxed. You're playing really well, and it's it's lovely whenever you feel like that. But some more nights you be playing, and depending on maybe tired, maybe traveling or whatever, and sometimes you're thinking to yourself, no, that's how difficult it is, because it's mood reflects on it and stuff. But it's, I think, whatever you're playing it and you feel this is good tonight. I'm topping my game, and that's the thing. You love whatever you're performing, and you do feel as if you can't make a mistake. You feel as if you're just you're getting that buzz and you're getting that feeling, and you're getting that vibe, and you say, "I'm loving this gig. This is brilliant." And you come off after the gig, and I would be very after gig. It doesn't matter how many people was at it, how many people thought it was brilliant. I mean, whenever I come off if I've performed well to myself, I'd judge myself. And if I perform well and come off that stage, I'd be delighted with myself. If I come off the stage and I'm going home and I'm not happy with myself, I mean, it doesn't matter whatever what anybody else said. I would be disappointed and say, no, I need to be better than that. I need to do this or do that. That's the way it's always been. I'm my own worst critic.
Yes, you are. Are you hard on yourself? You're
Yeah,
a little bit of a perfectionist about your work. Yeah. A lot of
that's
creative people are. I get that. I can relate.
that's
Other
stupid.
people may love it, but you're like,
Yeah, you always want to be
could be
better.
better. Right.
You always want to be better. So,
Right.
you
Exactly.
practice, you put the work in, and it's something that, you have to always be, you're always having to uh kind of like look to improve, look to develop more, look to advance more. And, you can always bring new parts, new ideas to the show. You can always be becoming, as I say, through the years recently there I've been developing new styles, which has been important because through the years back here performing, I mean, Hit the Diff was a massive track for me, and that style of music was the big thing. So you were nearly performing that style most of the night. But as time's advanced on now, with different opportunities, I'm enjoying developing that to more folk, more ballads, more things that are just give you that different dimension at different times, especially for theater shows and stuff.
Which is great. Yeah, to have that opportunity to get into that area of the theater world is fantastic. I want to let folks know if they're just joining us, Jim Masters here. We're taking it live to Ireland right now. Our very special guest is acclaimed chart-topping Irish singer-songwriter, country music artist Ritchie Remo, and he's returning with a timeless holiday collection, Home for Christmas, anchored by the intimate new single Christmas Family, which is really exciting. The album blends beloved classics with originals crafted to capture what he calls the spirit, heart, love, and memories of Christmas. That moment when everyone's together and it truly feels like Christmas.
Yeah.
And when that arrives, he's an acclaimed Irish country music artist who has captivated audience across Ireland, the UK, and internationally with his unique blend of traditional Irish music and contemporary country sounds. And his musical journey, as he mentioned, began around 12, guitar, learning fiddle at 14. And after years of honing his craft, his debut album drew critical attention and set the stage for a career of chart success, international touring, and crowd pleasing live shows. Congratulations on all that. You're probably pinching yourself too every once in a while, saying, "Wow, this is amazing. People really respond to my art and my music," right, Ritchie?
Yeah, I mean, it's been an incredible journey, and whenever you look back to the early days of learning and putting sets together, putting songs together, and learning the songs. I mean, from that stage to this stage now, and there's so many moments, there's so many big moments, so many moments whenever you had to put in the work to actually keep improving, to you got to even perform a show, and I mean, just also the confidence that you need to perform as well at bigger shows, and your confidence grows along with time, with playing and performing. So I mean, it's been a whirlwind between TV appearances and all the different things, and it's just been incredible. Some of the shows, whenever I look back to some of the massive shows that I've been doing and stuff as well, and even the small shows were brilliant, intimate shows. So I mean, all the different sides of it, different audiences growing along with me as well. And I mean, without the fans coming to your shows and stuff, you wouldn't be a performer. So I always have to be grateful to them and thank them as well.
When you put a show together, I know being in the industry that it really does take a long time. There's so much to craft the show and get it all together, and then, getting it all in the way that you want it to be before you present it to the audience. What is it like preparing a show, especially if you're going on like a tour and you're going from place to place, and you got to get everybody together, and you're sometimes on planes or in buses. What's the whole process like for you, Richie?
I think going back in the years, and this is something whenever I started to do the theaters and stuff, it was a whole different thing than the actual dances and that type of thing, because the dances and stuff, it was kind of, the audience was dancing and they were moving, they were drinking maybe sometimes and that. So it was different whenever you came to theater shows, and crossing over onto the theater show, the preparation was completely different. Because you were playing to an audience, so it was more laid back. It was more time between the songs to tell the stories. and different kind of songs. Because you didn't have to play material that was making them dance. Then you could sort of tell a story and do a different style. So the preparation towards that, whenever I moved on to that stage, it was a wee bit of a shock to me because I didn't realize the different I didn't have the experience to go into the theaters to start and uh, do that and the discipline that they did for that. So uh, I learned very quickly that you had to be. I mean, the show started exactly at 8 o'clock. It was an 8 o'clock start. The break came at a certain time. It finished at a certain time. You had only so many songs to put in. I mean, everything was at a timeline then of your song that lasts 3.5 minutes. Maybe you speak for a minute. You sing another song for 3.5 minutes, and it became a different thing than starting it would be 11 o'clock and playing to one. You might play to a half one. So the just to cross over them type of things was the experience that you started learning and you started putting into the time putting the show together and having different angles for it. So I think that was the whenever you look back, the as you go along, you pick up a lot of these things and you get the experience as well. And then sometimes you have to go and maybe somebody that was at your stage help them along as well. And that's something that I always like to do. I always like to help other artists as well and stuff because I didn't always have the experience. Also, didn't have people to help me a lot of time whenever I was younger. So I had to do all the stuff and learn all the stuff myself. So it was a big learning curve.
Yeah, I can imagine, right? And it again, it takes a lot of time and attention to put the performances together. This album here, this music for the holidays, how long did it take to put this together, Richie? And congratulations on it.
I think the big thing about this album was, uh, I mean, there was singles and there was songs and there was writing material for it and stuff. And coming up to Christmas, normally, September, October time, we come up with a Christmas idea, and from that time to December, I actually recorded the album in that short space of time. I mean, it was very, very fast, and it was done in one studio, and a lot of the playing on the tracks was done actually performing the songs, whereas our albums, I've seen me recording a song, maybe doing another song a month or two later and building the track. So this was done in a very short space of time. I mean, the writing the songs, which I love doing, and putting them together and stuff. And it's the creative process of that as well. And it's enjoying that as well and seeing how they turn out in the end. And I mean, it's something that with the final whenever you get the final product together and that and you'll be very happy with it. But also, as I said earlier about my performances, I mean, I'll do another Christmas album maybe next year, the year after, or I'll do a couple of new singles, and hopefully I'll be doing something that's even better again. So that's how all the time you keep working and you keep trying to be better. You keep trying to get like people always say, hit the diff was my biggest track ever. I mean, I've done maybe 12, 13 million on YouTube and things like that, and it streams really well and stuff. But people always say, why don't you have another hit? And now I've got, luckily enough, we got Hills of Connemara, which we released recently. It came out and it's streaming better than Hit the Diff now and Spotify and things. So, that was another song came along, and without knowing, I mean, I put a lot of work into the song and a lot of the work into the parts. It's like traditional Irishy type parts and between the verses. So I think you never know this. The Hills of Connemara came out as a single, everybody loved it. So I mean, people will all say, why can you not do it or hit the death for that? But I mean, music's funny because the audience out there decide ultimately if it's going to be a hit or not, if they love it or not, and that's something that you can't predict. I mean, all you can do is keep recording songs you like, recording songs you like to sing and perform, and from that, hopefully, other people like it as well. So, this is full of classics and, as I say, originals, and it's got an Irish country type feel to it. So anybody that likes Irish country type feel for Christmas songs, this is the CD they need.
Tell us about some of the songs that are on it as you have it there in your hand that people can enjoy some of the songs.
Yeah.
And what was it like? I know when you're creating an album or a CD, one of the hardest things sometimes everybody always says is you may have like 25 songs and then condensing it and picking the ones that you think are best for that particular album. What was that process like picking the songs that you thought would be perfect for this Home for the Holidays album? And tell us about the songs that you
See,
ended up with.
I think the big thing is if you go to Christmas songs, if you go to Fairy Tale of New York, it's a big classic. It's a big
That's a
one
good
that
one.
most singers will do. Merry Christmas, everyone. Shaky Stevens would be one. Uh, it would be the other one. Somebody's holding up a bit of paper there to me just to mention my website, but we'll get to that after. You'd have that. Grandma got run over by a reindeer, so very important. No,
Yes, yes.
you've got the originals, which was Christmas time again. The other one was Santa Played the Banjo. It's a very energetic kind of young song as well. And then obviously the Christmas single as well. So, I mean, I just do they know it's Christmas time is now one of my favorites. So that's why that was recorded as well. So, I mean, it's a collection of all them songs are all kind of to me top Christmas songs along with the originals. And that kind of then sets the tone of the album. And if you were doing another album, you say, hold on a minute, I've done all the Christmas classics now, but there is always something else. There's I mean, there's songs on the radio. Then there's a few songs as well. Like Ed Sheeran put out a song with Elton John
Mm,
a
mm,
couple of years ago. It's a great song as well. There's the Darkness, which I didn't cover.
mhm,
Christmas Time Again, I think they called their song,
mm.
which was a good one. I mean, there's other songs that obviously we could write more material as well. So there's all that type of thing. Silver Bells, I don't know if you know Silver Bells.
Silver
City's Black. Well,
bells, yeah.
I didn't record that, which I
It's
think I
Christmas
love doing.
time in the
Yeah,
city.
no,
Yeah.
ring-a-ling. So I could put that in the next
Ring-a-ling.
album. I've got these things,
Yeah.
and I saw Mama kissing Santa Claus. That's another great one. No, so there's 3, 4 before we even start. No, so
You're
that's how they bounce up, and then you could do a Christmas medley, which would be really good for another album. You could put maybe your favorite 3, 4 favorite dance Christmas songs. You could do All I Want for Christmas Is You, Mariah Carey, along
Mhm.
with Merry Christmas Everyone, along with another one. So this is me just speaking to you. If there's any other artists out there, feel free to take all my ideas as well. It's just that creative process. Is even me just talking to you now. I could be going to the studio now next week and saying, what I laid down this new Christmas album, and I mean, there's 4 songs already there, without even starting. So that really is something that you could do Christmas time in Ireland. You could write a song about Ireland
Right.
Christmas and
Yeah,
that
the
type of thing.
Irish, right.
Jerry Christmas,
Yep,
no
right,
Jerry Christmas instead of Merry Christmas. No,
right.
so so we're on it.
What part of Ireland do you hail from? Where did you grow up?
Derry, outside Derry, I'm a
Oh, Derry,
country.
yeah,
Yeah, I live in the
sure.
country, so Derry is the closest city to me. So I mean, it's been the countryside before we had. I mean, whenever I was growing up, there was really the internet was a dial-up modem, ring ring. No, there was no Wi-Fi or anything. So, and I mean, social media platforms weren't really there. People was one of the first. YouTube came along. But I mean, at this stage, I was maybe already 14, 15, at least maybe 16. So we didn't have the same social media. And it's good as well, because I mean, I have 3 sons. The oldest one, he's on shouting at an Xbox. I'm
Yeah,
coming, I'm coming.
right,
No,
right.
and honestly, he's 12 now. You know what? He has the talent. He got drum lessons, whatever his school. I played drums. He's piano lessons, and he's got the timing. He's got a real cleverness with memory stuff.
That's
But
great.
the computer's taking up all his time. That's the big interest. I mean, he's connecting with his friends on there. They're all chatting. No, and the back before that, it would have been, your friends would have. I didn't have anybody beside me that played instruments, but I wish I had it because that's what you would have done. You would have met up with them and played instruments. But I had to drive myself at it, and I mean that's the thing. Even you don't have people around you that's doing that. If we want to do it yourself, you'll put in the work and you keep doing it until you can you can perform. And I mean, there's a friend of mine lives close to me, Gareth, and he's over in Nashville at the minute. Gareth Music. uh he done covers of Luke Combs stuff and that, and then he done Sticks season, and he's got a massive deal now in America, and it's great to see it in Nashville. He's moved over there, and also it just shows you if you work hard. And one of his first gigs actually was with me and Donegal, so whenever he was about 14. So it's great to see someday as well, internationally known over there now as well. So it's brilliant.
It's really amazing. I've asked this question of many artists who come over from Ireland. Um, I mean, I go back to even interviewing, let's see, John McDermott and Ronan Tynan and some of the others. Frank Patterson, he goes way back.
You were
Frank
asking
Pat-
me earlier, funny about influences, and I mean,
these
Ricky
names,
Skaggs. Ricky Skaggs is one of
Ricky
one of the
Skaggs.
people I started. I done Simple Life. I done Just My Father's Son. My history is the secret. It's written in stones.
Oh,
All
I
this
love it.
type of bluegrassy country. I played a bit of bluegrass as
Right.
well, the fiddle stuff. So I've got that influence. as well as Irish country and as well as a bit of type pop country. So came across a good bit of the. That's why the style's that wee bit different in parts of the show. And as I say, I've kind of my first album is my first album out was very American country. Um, Dan Seals, massive influence of mine as well. Love Dan Seals songs. So that kind of side developed me into, I suppose, uh, the style along with the Irish country and along with the bit of pop and stuff. So it kind of brings fuses all together into your own style.
So I've asked a lot of them, what do you think it is about this relationship between Ireland and America, Canada as well? And I know there's a love for everything Irish in Australia too, if not around the world, but especially this love affair between Ireland and America, where we are here,
Yeah.
and for everything Irish, music, culture, food, the Irish humor,
Yeah.
the Irish make you feel good with quick, dry wit and a joke and a smile, and then the
I
great
thought you were going to say
music,
with drink because
the
I was talking
drink,
about
of
there. You're,
course. You
you're
got
all
to
known for
toast
Irish
everything.
people having a drink and
What do
toast.
you think it is? Why
I think
America loves so much of what comes from Ireland, and why Ireland has this wonderful relationship and love for things American? What is that about, you think?
I think the thing about America is America's so big and America's got it's a really vibrant, fast place to be, and everybody kind of wants to feel as if Ireland's kind of back to like it's back to where you would start your life almost, even if you're in America. If you look back to Ireland and people looks at Ireland as really green, I mean green as in fields and as farms and slow moving, and even in the city people aren't really like moving at a really fast pace. I think the slower pace is maybe one of the things that really does give people that feeling that if they think about Christmas. I mean, if I think about Christmas, I always think back to my wee boys watching it there again. Home Alone 1, Home Alone 2. I actually love that feeling of Christmas. It sticks with me every year. And it's something that I know you just wish Christmas was kind of like Home Alone, and in a certain way, except for getting robbed. But we kind of think that's kind of the lights in the
Except
big
for getting
city.
robbed.
I mean, if you go to, I know if you go to Dublin, Dublin has that kind of big city feels. I mean, it was
Yeah.
Dublin last week, and the lights and the feeling, the vibe of everybody. And I mean, a lot of people from Belfast, Derry, will all travel to Dublin and bring big city feeling together.
This is
Although,
like your version of New York. Yeah, your little New
yeah,
York.
this is a new
Yeah.
song we're writing here, and we don't even know it, me and you. So
Right?
there you go. There's and our 5 tracks we've done there now for the album. We're getting on great. So if you look at that, and that is I mean, there's a song there for you just in the writing of a song was you just talking, and I mean, if you're chatting about the big cities, and then the next part I was going to go to, which will be the second or third verse, would be whenever you're in the big cities and that, all of a sudden you want to go back to your home in the country or back home where you've been brought up because even though the big lights and even though the fast feeling and the fast vibe and that and that's kind of what the Christmas Family, the actual single, is kind of like. But I mean, another song would be mentioning the cities and mentioning how you could travel to different places. This was an idea I actually had previous to us speaking about this. But I mean, at the end up, sometimes after all this, it's nice to get back to where you would call nearly home, and that's something at Christmas that. And unfortunately, time moves on, people move on, but whatever the Christmas feels there, and it's very hard. And I was saying this as you get older, and that, and unless you have children, and once you have children again, because you kind of want to bring the Christmas vibe to them. I mean, it's very hard. Sometimes people say Christmas is not the same, but Christmas is how you kind of make it and how you kind of make it for the people around you. And if you can maybe help the people around you, if you can kind of make it special for them, sometimes it'll become kind of special to you again. So I think if you want to try and put the effort in, I think it's something that you can make special for yourself and everybody.
So very, very true. It really, really is. What are some Christmas traditions that you and your family continue today or have always done over the years there in Ireland, Richie?
Yeah, I mean, the big thing me and my father used to do was go out on Christmas Eve and get drunk, and it wasn't a good tradition because maybe you maybe too much drink, and then the next day we were trying to work out how we were going to eat the Christmas dinner,
Right,
which was a big, big
exactly.
problem. So we were trying to work out. So and it's hard to say, right, that's enough drink now, let's go and all because this was a tradition. Me and him went and took pints. We didn't drink halves. You had to drink pints. So whenever you were doing this, then you come back and you were saying, the dinner, and maybe thinking that the toilet is the fridge door. No, this no. So we had to say that's no, the Christmas Eve thing has to kind of stop. So I kind of don't do Christmas Eve anymore. We kind of take a few drinks at Christmas night, and I mean up to the Christmas time. This is a bit that I always loved. The gigs coming up to Christmas. I used to love whenever I was younger going to things that had orchestras and things that got to school had an orchestra at the time, and I was in the choir and stuff back at school, and I used to love that feeling of it. Although now there isn't many things like that, and I was thinking for next year I might do something like a podcast with a bit of an orchestra or something for Christmas next year because these are the sort of things I think would be good. It would be nice to actually even online for people on that. Might even do something on Christmas Day because most people on Christmas Day never have anything to do. They always say, TV's kind of crap. They'll say, and sometimes you feel like this yourself, and you want something to actually watch that's that wee bit different. And rather than because I love performing anyway, and I could put a group of people together, but it would be great actually do just a one-off podcast maybe on a Christmas Day. But make it that be more special, maybe a wee bit of a orchestra feeling or something like that. So that would be something maybe I'd be thinking about for next year.
That's fantastic. That is great. Some great idea, huh? Speaking of that, while you are on the Jim Masters show here in America and beaming all across the world, you have that beautiful guitar there. Did you want to play something for our
Yeah.
viewers? And everybody's saying hello. They're
So
coming. We got folks that are watching from all over Europe, and we see folks across America, Canada, all over the world that are watching right now, and they're loving our conversation and very excited about. Some are very familiar with your music and have it. Others are hearing about it for the first time. Ritchie,
yeah,
pretty cool, huh?
if they want to check out my music, they can check it out my website. Also, it's www.ritchieremo.com.
Right
And
there on the
I
screen.
see it, you've got
Yep.
the screen there. And I mean, the album's on there, the singles is on there, there's merchandise on there. You can also check it out on Spotify and all the iTunes and that
Yeah.
as well. So it's I mean, all over the social media platforms. The website is everything kind of straightforward there on there for you. And I mean, looking back, and this is something you were asking me about the start of the guitar, and the guitar book wasn't like the way you get a guitar learner book now. It's white and it'll say learner, beginner learner one. This book didn't say that. This book just you opened it up and it showed you chords and showed you songs, and you kind of thought, what do I do? It doesn't say start with putting your finger here. So, uh, what I was going to do for you, I was going to play the very first song that I actually learned out of that book.
What's the name of it?
The Streets of London.
Very nice. Very
You'll know
nice,
that
my
it's a
friend.
Ralph Mattel song.
Here
Have
he
you
is.
seen your back in the closed down market, kicking up the papers with his worn out shoes? In his eyes, see no prize, hands are listening by his side. Yesterday's papers telling yesterday's news. So how can you tell me you're lonely? Save you, the sun don't shine. Let me take you by the hand, lead you through the streets of London. I'll show you something, make you change your mind. Have you seen the old girl who walks the streets of London? Dirt in her hair, in her clothes, in her eyes. She's no time for talking, Lord. She just keeps on walking, carrying her home into carrier bags. So how can you tell me you're lonely? Save you that the sun don't shine. Let me take you by the hand, lead you through the streets of London. I'll show you something, make you change your mind. In the all-night cafe at 11:15, the same old man sitting there on his own. looking at the world from the rim of his teacup. It's tea lasts an hour, then he wanders home alone. So how can you tell me you're lonely and say for you that the sun don't shine? Let me take you by the hand, lead you through the streets of London. I'll show you something that'll make you change your mind.
Very nice, my friend. Really, really
So that
nice.
was the first one from the Lerner book.
That is, yeah, congratulations. And then everything skyrocketing from there. We got a request. They want you to play the Christmas song.
Yeah, the Christmas song. We'll do a small section of it because if it was to do all the verses and choruses, we'd need a 24-hour podcast. So what?
Right.
The tree is alight, the fire burns bright, the silence rings out through the cold air tonight. The kids are in bed, listening for Kringle's sled, and the wind whispers out, Happy Christmas. The bars all closed, on the street not a soul. No, it's just a few traveling home. Their family awaits, don't want to be late, and they tell who they love, Happy Christmas. The snow it falls thick in the city tonight. The city sighs comfort in a blanket of white. There's only one place anyone wants to be. At home with family on Christmas Eve. At home with family on Christmas Eve.
Very nice, my
Jim,
friend.
so what I would say is anybody wants to check out the song, the single's out at the minute. It's on you'll see the link in the website. It's on YouTube as well. So I mean if they want to check out the full song, it's a brand new single and you'll be giving it a spin on the radio later, is that right as well?
You tell us now what inspired that song. What was it about that song that inspired you as you decided to include that in the mix?
Yeah, I'll tell you what came up with the original song on the September around that time I read was Christmas time again. Then we done the Santa played the banjo and we done all the rest of the songs and we needed one more song for the album. So me and my friend who does a lot of co-writing with me, we decided what we do is we'd write a song just to fill the album. So with the whole album together, we kind of looked at what style or what we didn't really do on it. And we didn't really do a slow ballady type song. So me and him got to work and we came up with that song and it was the last one to record for the album to complete it. So it was inspired by the kind of Christmas story of being home for Christmas and, you know, painting the picture of the snow, of the family being there, and all the things inside your home. And that's the vibe of the song. You'll get there with the actual, if you're actually listening to the words of the song whenever you're in it, it's a very storyful song. The tree is alight, the fire burns bright. You know, all the kind of things the kids are in bed listening for Kringle's Sled. There's a lot of story kind of, but no, each verse is a lot of every verse is kind of like a story of Christmas, all the type of things in it. So I mean that's how it came about, and that's how we were writing it, thinking about, you know, being home with family with Christmas and stuff. And I mean it turned out great. It's a different vibe in the album. It's just got that different wee bit of a feel as well. So that's how it kind of came about, and that's how it ended up in the album. So it was one of them things. It was actually written as the last song of the album, and that's what we actually came up with. So we're delighted how it turned out, obviously, and it's a different style completely.
We have viewers that are watching from all around the world. Sue is asking about Santa and Banjo. Brilliant song.
Yeah, Santa played the
Some crack
banjo.
recording the video of it too.
Yeah, it was. I mean, the video is brilliant. It's a really. I'm writing a slate or a quad, and I'm going around this bale, and I'm drifting around the bale in the quad, and then I'm on a horse as well, which I was never on a horse before, and I was on a horse now twice for two different music videos. And can I just say something? If anybody's ever going to get a horse bareback, or even with a saddle, like it's a pretty scary experience, especially whenever there's big horses. But for people that rides horses, is probably saying, they just probably jump up on a horse like me, getting the guitar and playing the guitar. But I mean, it's a scary thing. Just I would stay away from horses unless you're trained to ride horses. What does it say? Horses for courses.
So did the horse take to you? Sometimes they take to a
See,
person and
you're like
they're
a
very
dog.
friendly, and
See,
sometimes they want to throw you.
whenever you go into a dog, right, and if you sound kind of scared of the dog will like basically get that feeling. It'll start maybe want to bite you or attack you. And it'll like, "Rah." So the
Mm.
horse, I think, is the same. If you're confident around the horse, and if you make the horse think, but even if you do that as pretend to do that, the horse will still pick up on how you are gauging it, and that be your body language. I think is a big thing. So. I think even people, and I've seen even people with horses themselves. If you watch the Grand National, you watch even jockeys with horses who's great experience. Next thing the horse starts to go about mad. So I think no matter what, I think if you're even if you're comfortable around horses, I think you have to be careful because I mean the amount of people's been chucked off a horse and they're actually maybe on the horse, they maybe feed the horse themselves and everything. So horses are kind of like a bit wild, I think. So that's why I would just rather drive a car maybe or something.
Got to warm the horse up a
Yeah.
little bit beforehand,
Yeah. It's
become its
just
friend. Yeah. What
yeah,
was
so
really interesting? I was on a TV shoot in California, Nevada, in the high country, the high desert. So the low desert, Las Vegas, the high desert, very beautiful and cooler at night. And I was on a TV shoot, and they wanted me to get on a horse because the person for the television news show in New York
yeah, brilliant, isn't
that
it? And they
I've been
say the
hosting.
horse is great. This horse train, just get up there and it's great.
That's it. Well, this was the woman is a retired Los Angeles police detective, and she has this beautiful ranch in Nevada. So we
Yeah.
went to her house, and she wrote a book and all. So we went to interview her at her home, but also to meet her horses, her dogs. And she had this beautiful horse called Mocha. And Mocha, for some reason, took to me right away. We became friends, and Mocha was following me around. And we wanted to get a shot. We were producing it too. So we wanted to get a shot of her on top of her horse,
Yeah.
Mocha. And for some
Okay.
reason, he wanted, and he was trained and they were very close, and
Yeah.
he wanted nothing to do with her. She got up on him so we can get these perfect shots for the TV news video, and he wanted to throw her.
Yeah, that's just true. There we
And
are
then they said, Jim, we need shots of you
on the
on
horse.
Mocha too. So I get up on Mocha. Mocha was calm. Mocha
Don't.
was happy. Mocha was relaxed.
But
And we're
Jim, do
like,
you
I
know
don't
what it was
understand.
you? It's the hair. You have the hair. I think John Wayne sort of cowboy look.
And
No.
and Mocha asked if I was Irish too. And
Yeah.
that sort of added a little,
Yeah.
oh
Yeah.
well, you're one of us. I mean,
It didn't walk you to a bar and say, "Do you want a pint of Guinness?" No.
no, not with
No.
Mocha. But it was really, really cool. It is an unusual thing. If you were on one as a kid and then you go on one later on, it's an unusual feeling.
Yeah, it's not. I wouldn't advise horses unless people are safety first and all that too.
Yes,
So
yeah.
what I would say as well, Tim, is through making videos and stuff, sometimes you be through into a situation and you're doing something different. And I mean, it's fast cars or whatever, but we aren't. Sometimes people forget we're not actors and we're not stuntmen. So it's sometimes difficult as well to be doing a video that's creative and different as well. But I mean, this is something I think we'll stay clear of horses in the next video.
You're
Um,
good. Yeah.
I mean, we're the one thing I will say, and I'll lead this as well. Tractors are not for everybody, and this is leading up to the next part because. I mean, the tractors don't care if you're from the country, but until you learn how to drive them, they're not for everybody. But uh, as I was saying earlier, my biggest song was "Hit the Diff," the original one, and I better do that for anybody that's out there because they no, it's one of them requested thing. You never done hit the diff, that's they say. And I'll do a small bit of that for you because
Oh, the
it's something
audience
that
is absolutely loving it. And they're
oh well, that's
watching
good.
from They're watching from across America, Scotland, Ireland, everywhere, which is really nice. And they
Well, big
welcome
hello
you.
to everybody. And I hope you start
Absolutely.
enjoying the show. I'll do it when I hit the different mowing, lifted, sowing, baling, drawing, hauling about, raking, backing, stacking, plowing, crushing, tipping, rapping, till doors slapping, sucking, diesel, cotton, trucking, spraying and pipe, double clutching, spinning, sliding, digging, rigging, rearing, tearing, losing, winning, hit the diff and pray. She goes all the way. It's not too bad with the party hat, hitting for the tail. Beside that we were with when the sun went down. Drink from a pipe, drop all night, fuel it right out. So that's Hit to Death, and also you can check it out on YouTube as well, and on the website as well. You can all the stuff, the singles and the on the albums are for sale on there, and Hit the Diff was one of the biggest. So after that, we had the Hills of Connemara, which is trending loads at the minute, and it's actually out as well, along with Christmas Family at the minute. So you can check that as well, all on the website as well, which www.ritchieremo.com.
So you're really enjoying it. You're enjoying the ride, and good things are happening. And it's a lot of work. You know, being in the music industry is never easy, but you love it, don't you, Richie?
Yeah, I mean, it's great doing something that you love. And whenever I was younger, I wanted to be either I wanted to be, I don't know, I'm just getting a messages here, but what are you looking at? Oh, yes, she's requesting another song here. But I mean, whenever you're
Somebody asked about Santa and banjo. A little of
yeah,
that they
Santa
were
played the
asking.
banjo. Santa
Yeah.
played the banjo, played the banjo, made that baby ring. No one's ever gonna believe Santa played the banjo. We don't have the time to do all the songs, but do you know, as I say,
That was a good
what
little.
that's a
Always,
snippet of
always get the title in. Always get the.
yeah, that's the main thing. So no, we'll definitely we'll hook up again. Maybe as I say next year. I'm looking forward to doing something a wee bit different for Christmas, and I'm planning ahead now. I've got a lot of stuff coming up this year. Between I mean, I was in Canada and tour. You mentioned Canada as well, and Denmark. I've toured everywhere, but hopefully America is going to. This is a year. This is my year for America. I think so. Um, I'm just seeing New York, Boston, Chicago, and well, probably a few other ones as well. And I mean,
When
it'll
does
be
it
it's something
start?
we are planning.
When do you kick that off when you go to
Well,
America?
we're probably going to be heading at the start of maybe June sort of time or and around that, and then I mean we'll be collectively putting the gigs together through that period. So we'll be going over and we'll be doing a tour of the different cities and that, and also along with it as well. Of course, I'll be releasing a lot of new material as well. I mean I've got a lot of material even sitting ready to go as well. So with big plans, Africa as well. I've also next year we're going to be doing a tour. We're doing book for festivals and things as well over there. So I mean in Ireland as well. It's going to be I mean we'll be setting up tours for. It's going to be different. I mean over the last years I've done UK and Scotland, Ireland. I mean been traveling. I've been doing that for a lot of years now. But with the vision for the future now is going to be obviously America and Africa and also a few other countries as well. And it's enjoyable as well because I'm able to bring new music now as well, because the great thing about it is the music that I'll be taking there, I'll be developing a kind of new style for it as well, which is great. And
What's that style going to be that you're
yeah, well,
developing?
I think if you look into stuff like the Streets of London, I'll be doing a single for it as well. It'll be a lovely. I've got a really good arrangement, and there'll be things like that, like nearly like I suppose just a different vibe and a different feeling anybody else is kind of doing for it, but maybe a bit of orchestra stuff and that as well in it. And then also, there'll be folk type songs with a different thing that I've been doing. And it's just going to be collectively a different album rather than for a lot of years I've been doing a lot of Irish country because that was kind of the scene that was in it for dances and stuff. But I mean I've got a lot of and also a lot of original material. I'm writing a lot of material as well. And So I've been doing I'm writing stuff as well and putting stuff together. So I mean that's the excitement of it, and I mean it's great as well because obviously now with the likes of this even been on what you hear, and we're chatting, and that there'll be different viewers and different people hopefully hooking onto the music now, and they'll see the journey developing from here now, and that's something that I'm aiming to do now, and building a new audience in America and throughout. So it's quite exciting.
There's that other album too that we were showing that you're very proud of. That's a great one. So people can go to the website, they can
Yeah,
download. It's all on Spotify and iTunes and everywhere, right?
yeah. There's music everywhere. And it's as I
It's
say, it's every year you come
yeah,
across every year, and you come up to the next year. I'm really excited about the next year coming up here to
a
2026
lot
because
coming.
I
Yeah,
feel as if the excitement and it's the new challenges and the new
right.
audience and that, and I mean it's been great up to now, the music and that, but actually taking it to the other side of the world's the big thing. And I mean it's an exciting time for it, and the good thing is that obviously I'm ready as well now, of the experience of the sort of to create the music. I'm kind of the ready time for traveling across now, and uh, I mean, it takes time to develop your set, develop songs.
Right.
You put everything together, and now with the new music. So I'm actually delighted to get the opportunity to do a lot of this. And I mean, we were in Washington last year, and I mean, all these things is all coming together now. And I know that there is loads of people as well, as you were saying, and all the cities over there, and they're looking for the Irish. They love the Irish material, they love the Irish people, they love the Irish culture,
They
and they
do.
love all that stuff. And I mean, that's something that I'll be proud of to bring with me. And hopefully everybody comes to the shows and sees the shows and supports the music as well. So it's been a fantastic been on with you as well, because you're giving me an opportunity here, and hopefully, as I say, next year, and it mightn't even be back home here, because if I'm maybe doing a tour somewhere else next Christmas, which I
Which
probably
is
will do, I
which
might
is
be
cool.
putting whoever I'm touring with on Christmas Day, I might do this like a podcast with them or something. So it's going to be a really exciting. I mean, the planning from now to next year is going to be the big thing. Everything coming together, and all the new music, all the new releases. So it's a really exciting time, and having you
Yeah,
in the journey as well, Jim. Hopefully next year we'll be on
absolutely.
talking, and we'll be looking at what I've done and where we are.
Yes,
So
we are there. We'll see you and root you on at the concerts. And if you ever need somebody to intro you on stage, I do master of ceremonies, host work. I've done
brilliant.
it for Celtic Thunder, Celtic Woman, for all of them. Welcome them
Yeah.
on stage over the years. I wanted to ask you too. This is a nice cover. Where was this photo taken? That's really nice.
And Jim, the answer to that is because I was looking at this the other day, and I was thinking, where was that photo? And I was trying to work it out myself. And this is, and it says, it was, it was in a hotel somewhere, but I'm not sure what hotel it was. I was
Was it a
actually looking at
hotel?
saying,
Yeah.
but these
Really
things,
nice.
there's things like this, right, that you do, and I mean, sometimes through the years, even songs that I've recorded in the past, and I haven't brought out, and I look back and they're maybe sitting in the studio, and I've actually forgot about them. I've written songs, and I have never finished them, and there's one I'm finishing at the minute, and it was maybe about 10 years ago since I actually wrote the chorus. So it's like there's all these things sitting, that sometimes you haven't finished, and they're sitting in the background, and then you can actually go back and revisit them if you remember about them. So there's loads of that good on there. But I mean, there's loads of music there. There's loads of stuff to check out. I've
Right,
got a single
exactly.
actually. I've got another lovely single, and it's a Corb Lynn song called "Shine Up Your Boots," and I've done a version of it, and it's an absolute uh, it's a brilliant track, right? And it's one of them things. It's good. It's got an American sort of feel to it as well. So
Hmm.
you'll the cover to that will probably be a single come out within the next 6 months as well. So it's actually an exciting release.
We were sent a clip of Christmas Family. We'll play that a little bit here. Did you want to say anything about that wonderful
Yeah, just
song?
I'd like to say to everybody that's tuned in, listening there and on, I would like to say, I wish them a happy Christmas, and I hope they get their home for Christmas. I hope that they're with their family. I hope that they make it special for everybody else, not only for themselves. And I hope everybody else makes it special for you as well. And I mean, coming, I suppose, with maturity and with age now, because I kind of matured a wee bit later than everybody else, as us boys, you still think we're young, but I think through the next year that as well, coming up to Christmas and that, I think I'll put more effort to make everybody's Christmas special and try and give back with them just I think just, uh, I think I'll put more effort into making sure that everybody has a good Christmas. And I mean, even something like, and I mean, it's something that I actually miss seeing because carols singing around the streets and things. Because I might do I might do a small tour of like different streets of carol singing or something next year as well. So there's loads of stuff like this. And maybe raise money for charity for that. There's loads of things I'll be putting together for next year that I haven't done before, and that's what makes it so exciting through the whole year. I'm going to be able to put all this together and also, make it that wee bit special for me performing as well from that point of view, and also, something that I'll hopefully give back to the community and give back to the fans as well. That's been there with me for a long time because obviously COVID came. There's been different spells, different things, and now this year's the big year that I'm really looking forward to because of everything in line and everything good to go. And I'm excited about the new challenges. I'm excited about all the music that's something good to go as well because I mean sometimes what happens in music is up until 2018, 19, I was doing I was doing loads of touring and loads of work, loads of playing. And, after COVID and that, it just kind of became a different sort of spell and a different scene and that. So with that, I got time to actually reflect and write and reflect and actually become better at guitar and better at violin and stuff. And now with them years getting past now, it's everything's built up to the stage where it's just ready to take off. And it's a kind of like a new beginning the year coming, and it's good because of all the stuff that I have already done with me as well. So that's the excitement of it. So I'm looking forward to it, and I can't wait. And if you want to spin one of my singles after I go off air, and I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in and listening as well, and supporting yourself as well, Jim. So, and thank you for having me.
The pleasure is all ours, Ritchie. I wish you nothing but the very best, and you're very talented. Everybody loves your music, and they want more of it, as do we. And it was really terrific getting a chance to chat with you, learn more about your upbringing, your background, your passions, how you do what you do, and wish you a fantastic holiday season, you and your
Yeah, thank
family.
you.
There's the website again, everybody, for everything Ritchie Remo. You can check it out. All the music, more about his background, upcoming tour dates, other cool things he's working on, some Ritchie Remo merchandise as well. That's a cool name, Ritchie Remo. It sounds like a superhero.
Yeah, Jim Masters is a cool name. We'll maybe
Jim
have to
Masters or Ritchie
collaborate.
Remo. How cool is that together,
Master
right?
Remo, we'll call ourselves Master Remo.
Those are some power names, aren't they?
Yeah, we've got it.
What a real
Super.
pleasure to have you here, my
Yeah,
friend.
lovely to be on with you as well. It's been great.
Yeah,
I
as I
hope all
always
the people
say,
tuned in has enjoyed it as well. So
they have enjoyed it and they've been commenting, and we welcome people to continue to comment and get all of his music too, especially holidays and everything else. I always tell all the guests that we like to keep the porch light on for them to come back. So you're welcome back here anytime, my friend,
yeah,
and spread the word about our show. Safe travels, and I hope you enjoyed the time with me as much as I have with you.
yeah, it was really enjoyable. Thank you very much for having me, and I look forward to coming back. So, and everybody else, and as I say, thanks for the support to everybody that's on there that has already came to the shows and has tuned in to me, and big hello to any of the new people as well. And we hope to see them all at the gigs, and also. As I say, the future is bright for this year, and there'll be loads of new stuff. So new music and new travels, and Jim, hopefully we'll have you at a show. We'll meet you face to face, and we'll maybe do something live as well. So we look forward to all that. But everybody enjoy their Christmas, and happy Christmas and a happy New Year to you. And same to you, Jim, as well. And thank you very much for having me.
Absolutely. And here's a studio audience round of applause.
Thank you.
Just for you, my friend.
Thanks very much, Jim, and all the best. Thank you.
Exactly. And everybody saying thank you and Merry Christmas to you as well, and lots of luck in all that you do. And more wonderful conversation, Ritchie. And thanks for
Oh,
sharing
thank you.
music with us, and all the best to you as well. Lots of love coming in from all the viewers here on the Jim Masters Show. Thanks, Ritchie, and for playing too. We appreciate you doing
No
that.
problem at all. I really enjoyed it. Thank you.
We'll talk again real soon. Okay. You enjoy.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Happy
All
holidays.
the best. Same to yourself. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay. There he goes. And was this cool or what? This was really, really a lot of fun, folks. If you want to hear his music, you can go to ritchieremo.com, and that is the website. And it was really cool having him here. Very popular chart-topping Irish country music artist. There's the new album, Home for Christmas. Check it out. He played a couple of pieces from it as well. Here's the other album too, which we were talking about. He does guitar, he does violin, he's multi-talented, great guy, great conversationalist, huh? He keeps it moving. And really a good guy. His concerts sell out. His music is in high demand. He loves traveling all around the world. He's coming to America, which is really, really cool. And just a real delight to have him here on the show, right? So, again, all kinds of great music that you can enjoy. If you want to hear samples and MP3s, you can go right to his website. This was a great conversation. And he played some music live for you from Ireland as well. He was in Northern Ireland in the Belfast area, coming to us live from the Emerald Isle just for all of you during the holiday season. Hope you guys enjoyed it. That is Ritchie Remo joining us here from Ireland. Again, acclaimed country music artist, Irish country music artist. Started when he was 12 on the guitar, moved up to the fiddle by 14, and the rest is history. And again, you can check out all that music. You got a chance to hear some of the music too live. Sometimes I like when the artists do little pieces live as opposed to us just playing something, that's pre-recorded or whatever. Sometimes it gets tough with copyright to do that. But when they play something live, it's extra special, isn't it? They're doing it for you and for me and for all of us. So, when they have the violin or they have the flute or they have the drums or the guitar and they play something live for us, like he did, a couple of different cuts there live exclusively on the Jim Masters Show. That is cool. That is cool. Have you gotten all your Christmas shopping done yet? We're in the thick of that now, folks, really in the thick of it. And, you just noticed George Burns, right? There he is. George is there. And I, Jimmy Genie. And have you spotted Gilligan from Gilligan's Island, the TV series? There's Gilligan. So they have found their ways on set there. Gilligan. This star right here, people ask about this star. This star came from a star, one of our Jameis Loverty stars. This came from Kathleen Walker in New York City. It was I believe it was a birthday gift, and there's some beautiful words on there. So that star right there next to the Jimmy Genie bottle came from one of our faithful Jim Master Show Loverty viewers, which was a beautiful gift. And that is that star right there, because I think all of you are stars. All of you who watch and support the Jim Masters Show Entertainment Lifestyle Celebrity Talk Show series, I think all of you are stars. So, cool stuff. This was really great. And Kathleen right there. And she's the one who sent that star. There's also a crystal turtle. I don't know I love turtles too. There's a crystal turtle there too, right there. But sometimes they block it, That's what's behind me, the logo and the graphics. If you ever wonder what's behind, it's our logo. Anyway, some people ask about the set, some of the things that are on the set here, which I think is fantastic. It changes, we've changed it around. If you look back at some of the older episodes of our show, it's we've changed the set here and there, a little tweaks, a little moving around, little twinkling or tweaking, that is, twinkling too, but tweaking of the set. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. And from Maureen in Arizona. Good stuff, gang. What a great conversation. Again, one more time, we thank Ritchie Remo joining us live from Ireland. You got a chance to hear some of the music. There again, Home for Christmas. Home for Christmas is the album, Home for Christmas. So if you're home for the holidays, I think I said home for the holidays too. Home for the holidays, have some Home for Christmas. And if you're not home for the holidays, take it with you and bring it along. That's his newest album, and there's this as well. So good stuff. Great conversation here. Coming to us from Ireland. A nice afternoon from Ireland. Really cool, right? Hope you guys are doing well wherever you're watching around the world. Come see us again. I'm your host, Jim Masters. We love having you here. Don't forget you can binge watch all the past episodes. We would love it if you give this episode a thumbs up like. There's a little thumbs up on our YouTube channel next to all the episodes. Share this. You can share this right from our YouTube channel onto your social media if you really loved it. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV. And thanks to all of you who have subscribed to the channel. It doesn't cost anything. Jim Masters TV is the channel. And drop a comment below. We love hearing from you. So if you enjoyed this episode or any of the ones you enjoy, drop a comment below. Okay. And yeah, really cool to have you here. And thank you for the great conversation. And thank you for the comment and for watching. Good stuff. And we had a lot of new people watching from Scotland and Ireland and Canada and Australia and other parts of the globe, which I think is fantastic. Really, really cool. All right, gang. Hope you enjoyed it. And come join us again for another great episode. Don't go anywhere. Another fantastic episode of The Jim Masters Show comes up for you right now. Till then, we love having you here. And it's a real pleasure. And happy holidays and all the rest. And thanks to Ritchie. And thanks to all of you. All right. When I'm looking over here, I'm just looking at all the comments that come in. So I'm not looking at you. I'm just looking at the flurry of comments that come in, which is great too. And when we do the show live, which is sort of an exclusive here, like to see all the people that are commenting. So, all right. Be well, everybody. Take care of one another. Love one another. And don't forget to do the very same for yourself. Happy holidays. More great shows coming up. Another great one coming up in just a moment. And come see us again. Share, like, comment, subscribe, all the rest. And we love having you here. Don't keep it a secret. Let everybody know that we are here for you on JMS. All right. For him, they're 5 hours ahead. So it's like after 9 o'clock at night right now. So even though we did this show live earlier in the afternoon, it was in the evening for him. Like it's after 9 o'clock now. For us, it's dinner time. And I believe we're having steak, which I haven't had in a long time. I usually don't eat a lot of steak, but we're having a nice steak with mashed potatoes, of course, and some vegetables. And I think there's some ice cream for dessert and cool stuff. All right. Be well. There is the dinner menu for today. Whatever you do, enjoy your meal, whatever time of day it is when you're watching this. Some people watch this later in the archives, and it might be breakfast time or it might be lunchtime and all the rest. All right. I know. It's just nice chatting, isn't it? All right. We'll see you again soon, folks. Thanks for watching. Be well, everybody. Jim Masters here. Cheers.